In Northern Ireland, only 1 policeman in 9 was Catholic. Unlike the police in the rest of the United Kingdom, the Royal Ulster Constabulary, the RUC, was armed. But if the Minister of Home Affairs thought that the situation demanded it, the police could be augmented by a voluntary part-time force, entirely Protestant, the B Specials. Arms were not issued as the occasion warranted, but once handed out, were kept at home. The Specials were regularly used, one of the key weapons in the armoury of the Northern Ireland state. Without question, the B Specials were a partisan force. They were resented and feared by the Catholic population, who were convinced that in the 20s and 30s riots, the Special Constabulary had supported loyalist attacks and had even been guilty of sectarian murder.
Oh, God, hatred. Hatred. Hatred in our hearts. I know I have that hatred in my heart for them. And for the RUC. Could never forget what they did do, you know.
They were a gang of thugs. They weren't a police force at all, you know, corner boys. It was one way of getting them into, getting them guns and letting them on the loose. Oh, there's no doubt about that.
In the ghettos of Belfast, the position of the Catholics was particularly serious. Under attack by Protestants, Catholic streets were burnt virtually to the ground, and it seemed possible that there might be a pogrom. 8 people died that night, and hundreds were injured. The morning saw Catholics fleeing the sectarian divide. and after the rioting had subsided, 1,500 Catholics had lost their homes.
Down here, and the opposition Protestant people started through the stones and petrol bombs right up.
What time was this?
About 2:30 in the afternoon, and it kept on going all afternoon up to about 7 o'clock. We hadn't a policeman to protect us.
When did the troops arrive?
The troops didn't arrive till about 7 o'clock at least. 7 or 8, I think it was. And we were left holding the baby all the time for to fight ourselves. No defence of any kind except stones and what we had, not what we could find in the streets. Next thing that happened was the people on the opposition side, they are supplied with the guns from the B specials.
Were they using guns?
They were using guns.
But what happened then? Did they actually come into the area?
They came into the area lots of times, but we were able to chase them off again.
Where did they come in? Did they come in over this barricade here behind us?
From Cooper Street. From Cooper Street area there is the borderline where the Protestants are, and they came right on over into the Catholic area to try to burn the Catholics out of the house.
Were all these houses occupied yesterday?
They were all occupied, yes. Yesterday, all by Roman Catholics. And
where are these people now?
All those people are away up living in different places, such as different areas, such as Turf Lodge, different other places like St. Thomas's School. Some of them are up in.
Were these all Catholic families?
All Catholic families. Every one of them have been. All the whole lot. This is all predominantly Catholic in this section. Over here is the borderline. That's the Protestant area there.
As you can see, there isn't any.
They came up from there.
They came up from there. And we had a barricade.
How many of them were in it?
Oh gosh, we say they had guns and ammunition, and we hadn't anything at all.
Where were you at this time?
Well, we had to fly into the cloister to the church, the monastery, and we had to crawl along on our tummies, you know, to save ourselves from getting shot, you know, through one of the windows.
Were there any people on the streets at all?
They were sniping, you know, from everybody had sort of cleared out from this part, you know, and they were sniping from the roofs and, you know, they're getting over that way. Well, we hadn't anything to protect ourselves at all.
This house here behind you is still burning?
Yes, that's right.
Did they throw
also burning this morning, as a matter of fact.
In fact, even this morning, at about around about 8 or 9 o'clock, the military were here, and what happened next was there's a couple of snipers, and the military had to get off, and we had to search the streets, and the military had to go in the back to see if they could get the snipers here. This is only at 10 o'clock this morning, snipers, and the military was all around all the houses there to get them.
Well, this is a no man's land now.
No, this is...
Will the people come back?
They'll try and invade. My opinion is that they're trying to come right on up to take the rest of the Catholic area and to set the rest of the houses on fire.
How many civilians were injured here last night? Have you any idea?
136 according to the news.
Well, that's 136 covering everybody.
40 shot.
Did you see any police being hurt?
No, I didn't see any.
Did you see anybody firing on the police?
No.
No, none of that.
What do you think should happen now?
Give us a lot of dynamite, we'll go up there.
How is this whole thing going to be solved? What's the solution?
Just take our barricade away and let the falls go up. The beach passes
give
back.
us guns, give him his guns. There's no law in our man, no law here at all. No law. You have to pass the
Here told they opened up on us, and everybody, anything you could see.
What brought them into the area?
Themselves. What do you mean, what brought them in?
All that destruction, that crowd from the Shankill Road, that every
We
bit of
couldn't come
that.
out here, they opened fire and us let them people walk out and not
These
touch
people
them.
here couldn't come out to defend themselves because the B specials
They led them
were
down.
standing by
They
them.
led them down.
Sure, the B specials led them, and they come on the radio and television and say that there was
They were
we were
fired off
shooting.
first
The
and
machine
died.
gunned us.
All those
Well, did
people.
you shoot back?
We was with pea shooters and bottles,
Nothing, only sticks
armoured
and
cars,
stones.
paving the way for the hooligans to come in. Do
And
you
they
see
run
that there?
right
It's a
along
Catholic
that
school.
place. We're gonna burn it
They
down.
stood and let them burn it. Why didn't they shoot at them? There was no shooting on the Shankill.
The people of Divis Street will never forget their night of fear last night. 2 people died in these flats as 3 armoured cars sprayed bullets during sorties up and down Divis Street throughout the night. The RTE camera crew who were filming the shooting were trapped for a period in automatic crossfire in a laneway off this street. The 9-year-old boy, Patrick Rooney, was shot dead in his bed. The other fatality here was a man believed to be a soldier on compassionate leave.
the Protestant Police Reserve, had inflamed the rioting of the summer. Now they were obliged to surrender the arms they'd kept at home to a central armoury. Paisley voiced Protestant fears.
The government will find that they will not be able to jackboot the Protestants any longer into the ground. I'm warning them that if they continue this policy of selling out Protestants and of trampling on Protestants and denying Protestants their rights, there's going to be an affair in Ulster that all the restraining voice that I might raise will no longer be heeded to.
On the day after a government report had recommended the abolition of the B specials, Protestants rioted in the Shankill Road and confronted the army. That night, snipers opened fire and the army returned it.
The rules are extremely clear, and every soldier knows this too, that if a person is shooting at us and our lives are in danger, and we can identify the person who is actually shooting at us, then we may return that fire with one round, and we shoot to kill.
Three men, 2 civilians and a police constable, were shot dead. "66 people were injured. The following night, the army drove into the Shankill Road and searched the area for arms. Hostile Protestant crowds shouted, "Englishmen go home, we want the B specials."